We are live.
All right, guys, we are live and we are transferring the link over to Patreon. And so if you're seeing this video, you'll be seeing this part after the live event. But we just want to go ahead and give you a little intro. Great to be here tonight. Looking forward to it. There's a lot of things we need to talk about tonight. And obviously with the shootings that have happened, there's a lot that we need to discuss. And I'd like to get some feedback from you guys. So as people start to click on, definitely say hello. Let us know you're here. We can see some of the numbers coming up, but it's really great. So we're here, myself, Sarah Mack, and really appreciate her setting everything up for us. And so we've got some really cool giveaways tonight. We're doing that for every Patreon live event. We have 4 different things we're going to be giving away. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But also, just love the feedback from you guys. It's just great. And thanks for being here. Thanks for being a patron. It is getting more and more important for us that you're here. And 2, we don't know what's going to happen in the next few months. So with YouTube, and when these shootings happen, a lot of times YouTube starts changing things. So we do have a lot of things to discuss. And again, as you get on here, just say hello. And know this, that if you are asking questions on the Patreon website, we will not see them. So you need to be on the live event, which is on YouTube. It's hosted by YouTube. And so you just go ahead and answer your questions there. Sarah Mack is monitoring all of those questions. And so I see we got people popping in. And so it's going to be a good night tonight. Guys, we're going to discuss some things coming up. And I know many of you are really kind of, with bated breath, kind of hoping that we get through this, but I'm afraid we're not going to get through this unscathed as far as our Second Amendment rights. But let's talk about it, and we're going to discuss some things. There's a lot of different solutions that are supposedly out there, but or a lot of opinions about solutions. And so we're going to try to get down to the bare facts if we can and kind of discuss some things. So yes, I see a lot of people popping in. We are going to be doing some giveaways. We've got some pretty cool stuff to give away. Last week, we had a lot of Olight stuff. And a lot of you guys, of course, everybody that got stuff got back to me. And hopefully, if you did, I want you to send me a picture so we can post it. Or if you can post it on the community part. And it's really cool. I don't check that like I should. And I went back through the other day and I saw some that were from like weeks ago, and I felt kind of bad about it. So one of the things I try to always do, guys, is try to get with you guys. If you leave a comment on Patreon, that's one of my priorities is to get to you. Or if you send me a private message, you can send messages directly to me. And I always try to make sure that's a priority. I can't keep up with Facebook, can't keep up with YouTube and Instagram and all that. But Patreon is where I like to spend my time because you guys are here supporting us and we want to give back. If I don't get back to you, it's not because I'm ignoring you, I promise. Sometimes life just gets really busy. Seems like we've had a very busy July. Thank goodness August is here. But we have some cool giveaways, real cool giveaways. And one thing we're going to do is, before we get started, is and I talked about this last week, but we do have the Long Live the Republic mugs. They are, in fact, we waited until tonight, and we were going to go ahead and offer it to you guys first. There's only 300. We have 300, so it's a limited edition. We'll probably run it again just because Long Live the Republic is probably going to be the most popular. And we're going to run some of the Sensible Prepper ones. We'll do some different ones. We're going to be giving away a mug tonight, and along with something else. But we're going to be giving away a mug. I'm going to offer all the stuff on the suchgear.com website. And so far right now, we used to sell a lot of magazines, laser engraved magazines and stuff. And because laws were changing so much, it was just too big of a headache. So we just stopped doing it. But we do have patches and stickers. And so now we have mugs, and we will be adding some things coming up. But we're going to give you guys a 20% discount on anything on the website from here on out. Whatever we put on there, we're going to be doing it. And I think these are $12.95. And so we're going to be giving you guys a 20% discount, and it's going to be just Patreon. So all you got to put in the coupon code. Now, It won't be live until tomorrow because we had some shipping. It was showing some crazy shipping. So we want to make sure we get the shipping as reasonable as we can. And so that's coming up. I will be making this announcement a little bit later on the giveaway. And I believe we're going to throw in a nice BCM hat. Paul Buffani over at BCM. Sometimes he'll just send me hats or, T-shirts, things like that. And so he just sent me some hats, and I thought, hey, this is a great time to give them away. So we're going to be doing that. We've got some other cool stuff we want to show you guys, and I'll make you wait. And in the next few minutes, we'll go ahead and do a giveaway. And again, we have questions. I have 3 different questions, and we're going to ask, and then we're going to go into, whoever answers first wins. And, that's kind of a Patreon kind of thing. Now, I think we have a question. So let's go ahead and get things kind of started.
Joseph asks, are you going to review the IWI Masada?
I would love to. In fact, I've been looking at it, and IWI got in touch with me a while back about maybe doing something, and I don't think I got back to them. I know that's kind of crazy, but I need to, because that is one gun I would really like to check out. Probably one of the most exciting guns probably on my list right now. So hopefully I will, and we'll see if we can get one, because I know those are probably going to be difficult to find. So hopefully, yes.
Firearms Fuel and Fabrication says,
hey, man,
before we get into all the bad news, do you recommend that survival knife as a must buy? I'm interested in it. Okay,
let's talk about that's a great question. Cold Steel. It's funny. A lot of people were downing Cold Steel on the review, because I made it live this morning or this afternoon sometime. And I noticed a lot of people are down on it. One of the things about that knife is it is really thin, just like a Mora knife. And Mora knives are not full tang typically either. And so, it did bend a little bit, but I was stepping on it and bending it in between wood. And I really should have put it all the way to the hilt. This is my idea on this knife. For me, for a primary survival knife, I want a full tang knife, hands down. And that's what I'm going to carry. But to me, the thing about the is, number one, it's a very inexpensive knife. I think they're Lion Tactical. He got in touch with me and said, we're going to give you a 50% discount for Suits viewers. And so it's $19.95. The survival kit inside and the ability to make that into a spear. And I'm going to tell you guys, I know I was showing at the end, me missing, but really it didn't. That was the only times I threw it. I threw it 5 times, and I was really starting to get those 2. They were starting to go in once I got my aim down. So it's really a natural thrower. The other thing is the knife is super sharp, and, it is thin, but it's got a lot of capability as well. So for me, I like that knife to put in my pack, maybe put in the car, and just have something for a backup, because it's good and sharp. It's limited capability to a point, but there's a lot of advantages. So I like it, and I think that it's a great knife. The thing is on Sensible Prepper, that video was demonetized immediately. Ron over at Lion Tactical just sent it. I was really just helping him out. There was no incentive for me really to do it. I just was trying to help him out. So I have no fight in the game with this knife. I'm not making any money. So just to tell you straight up, which I would anyway, I like it. So yes, I think it's a great knife to have.
Kevin Walker asks, since we have a survival kit in the Cold Steel knife, how about a survival belt to go with it? Altoid 10?
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know that I've messed with the Altoids, and I've actually built some kits from them. I don't really know that I've actually done a video on it. As far as a belt, now I'll tell you something. DeltecForce.com does a belt that has a zipper inside, and it's really to put cash and things like that. And I have always had a plan maybe to do something along that line of just a survival items in a belt like that. And so I haven't really gotten really into it. I've done some things with it, but Altoid 10, those things are great. The thing is, there's some basics, and really because I've been doing these military survival kits and seeing what they are putting in them, you can really make a compact kit that's effective. And that's one of the things I like. Yes.
Enigma asks, are you ever concerned that gun tubers like yourself will make easy targets for Democrats to come after for gun confiscation if and when the day comes?
Oh, yeah. I'm concerned about that. It's funny. And that's the way it is. And it's funny because when I first started my channel, I think I was at 40,000 subscribers, and a buddy of mine told me, he goes, we were talking about it, and he said, doesn't that kind of make you nervous that many people know about what you have? I said, here's the thing, man. I said, we've got to stand up and say it. We've got to do what we've got to do. And for me personally to take a hit, that means the whole country's taking a hit. And, we're in a world of hurt. So as long as we're being safe and being sensible, I mean, that's all we can do. And so we are going to talk about it. In fact, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about what's coming up. I said this a while back. We were talking about the NRA. We were talking about, some of the failures that have happened and how a lot of people have gotten on the bandwagon against them. And the big problem right now is the NRA, whether good, bad, or ugly. And I've been very upset about a lot of things with them, but there's a lot of positive. And one of the big ones is they have a lot of inroads in Congress, more than anybody else. And they're not the only ones. Gun Owners of America, awesome. Second Amendment Foundation, awesome. I'm a member of all of those organizations. I give a lot of money to those organizations because for the price of what I'm going to spend for another gun, I don't want to lose all my guns, so I give money to those places. And the NRA is still one that I do give to. I'm not as excited about as I used to be. But we've got to pull together here. We're going to be under a mountain of assault coming up. I mean, and I said it just takes one more shooting, guys, one more shooting, and things could turn. And now we've had 4 in the past less than a week and a half, 4. We had the one in California that could have been kind of gone, which, California, super strict gun laws, yet it happens. Then we had the other one at the other Walmart in Mississippi. Of course, that was an employee thing, so we could kind of skirt past that. But the one that happened in El Paso, there is no way to get around that something's going to happen. Something is going to happen. And then we had on Sunday morning when I woke up and I saw that, I was getting ready for church. I just happened to pop up to see what was going on in El Paso. And many of all of you felt the same way. And then looked at that in Ohio. I was like, oh my gosh, we are in trouble. And so, here's the thing. They're going to try to do, the biggest thing they're going to try to do, I think, and I really think this is just my idea. And I want you guys to chime in. I may not answer your questions right away, but I want you to chime in. I want people to see what we're thinking, because it's a big mystery right now. Nobody really knows. But I really feel that the Democrats are going to come out strong, and they want to do an assault weapons ban. They want to do magazine restrictions, heavy waiting periods, just a cumbersome albatross on gun owners' backs. That's what they want. I think Trump right now is going to come in with the red flag laws. I am against red flag laws. I'm against it because it can be abused. But I think what he's doing is he's trying to stay, and this is just my opinion. This may change. But I think he's trying to stay away from AR-15 or assault weapon ban. I'm going to say assault weapons because that's the terminology they're using. I understand that it's not an assault weapon, but I think he's going to use that to kind of derail this ban. I think that, and I'm hoping. But I think that we're going to get the red flag laws. I really do. I don't know how we're going to. I don't support it. I don't like it. I think it's wrong. It's against due process. It can be abused. A buddy of mine that works for the South Carolina State Highway Patrol, I was talking to him Sunday. He's part of the security team at our church. And he told me this a couple of weeks ago. He said, it's like somebody that has a restraining order. He said, this is one woman he knew because he knew the guy. And he said this woman and her husband were having problems. They split up. I think he'd been infidelity or something. And so she was just angry. There'd been no abuse or anything, but just she was angry, which is understandable. And she just placed a restraining order against him just because she was angry. Then she had a GPS tracker on his car. So wherever he would go, she would go to those places and go up to him and then call the police and say, he's breaking the restraining order. And so he did that 3 times. The guy ended up in jail 3 times. And so this is what I think. If you have something with red flag laws, people that are just upset, people that don't like you, your neighbors, whatever, for whatever reason, they think you're a little crazy because you have AR-15s. that can be abused. And that is the big thing to me. Now, let's look at the other side of it. And I'm going to tell you, I think this is where a lot of people are going to fall for this, is they're going to say, okay, what if, I'll give you a prime example. In our homeschool association, a little kid started talking, running in his mouth and saying that he was going to shoot up a bunch of people except for his friends. Where do you go with that? What do you do with that? And I think that is the problem. There's nowhere to be able to take that to. And so, and just like with the Nicholas Cruz, and of course this kid, had this hate manifesto. I think that a lot of people are just looking at that and they're saying, okay, we've got to do something about that. Guys, I don't know the answer, but I do know that we're just in for a world of hurt. Now you can chime in if you've got some ideas on this. And if you think I'm way off base, I do see, a merit of someone that's talking about shooting up a school. Where do you go with that? And, how do you make that a credible threat? How do you actually lodge that? We do need to, something like that happens and people are afraid. We need to have something, but red flag laws, to me, it's a dangerous precedent. It's, guilty before proven innocent. And we've got to, but here's the thing, guys, I really don't know the answer. I love what Colion Noir says. I loved if you haven't seen it, you need to check it out. I put it on Facebook, but it was one of his things on Instagram. And he was talking about, it's the world we live in, guys. And taking away guns from legal, law-abiding citizens just makes them defenseless. And he said, you know what? It sucks. It sucks that wherever we go, we have to be armed and ready to defend ourselves. It's horrible. But it's reality. And so, guys, you got to do it. I told Sarah Mack the other day, she was going to Walmart the day after. And I said, nope. I said, I don't want you to go to Walmart. And she could have picked up something at Walgreens instead. So she ended up going to Walgreens. But I said, the thing is, we live in a dangerous world. And all these people are unwilling to take self-defense as their responsibility. It's just the facts. And so taking up, banning guns or making strict gun laws is not going to hinder a criminal from doing what he's going to do. And there's too many guns in this country. They'll never be able to get them all. So the big thing for me, just like Colion Noir said, he said, make America tactical. Now that sounds horrible. It sounds awful. I mean, it does. It's like, oh my gosh, I've got kids. I think about that. But on the other hand, I don't want them to be defenseless. And we need to take defense as our responsibility. So that is my big thing is, what? These people, just like the guy in, both of these shooters from El Paso and from Dayton, Ohio, were perfectly legal to go out and buy a gun. How is a waiting period? In fact, the guy from Ohio actually ordered the gun. And I believe this is what Sarah Mack had looked at. She said he ordered the gun from Texas, had it sent to his FFL. So he had days to wait. Picked it up at his FFL, passed the background check, filled out a 4473, did everything he needed to do, had no criminal record. How are you going to stop that? You can't. You can't stop it. You cannot. The only way you can stop it is for you to have a firearm. And so when that person comes up, you have to defend your life. Yes, it sucks. It does. It does. But what else are we going to do? Because listen, guys, we cannot give up the Second Amendment. We know that. We've got to stand for it. So this, to me, and I've said this before, the Second Amendment in the Constitution is only second to the Holy Bible, in my opinion. It's only, in fact, now a lot of people will say, no, the Constitution is a secular document. No, it was all based on old Jewish law, and that's where it all came from. So, I don't know. I am so stretched about how I feel about this. But I do know this. I want this Second Amendment. We got to stand behind it. So what do we do if they have red flag laws? You know what, guys? Honestly, I kind of feel like that's going to be what we're going to have to deal with. I mean, I really do. I don't see, unless somebody stands up. Even Dan Crenshaw, the veteran, with the patch, and who is super conservative and he's done great, he is backing red flag laws. I don't know. If you've got some ideas, I know we've got a lot of comments, and I love it. I love it. And I'm going to go back and read through them. If you're not asking questions, she may not know to actually say it. I know a lot of you are voicing your opinion. Let me tell you one thing about this whole deal is you need to voice your opinion. And you need to not do it just here on this limited place, but you need to do it on your Facebook page. You need to do it wherever you have a social presence at all. Guys, we've got to be vocal. We can't hide. Listen, yes, putting yourself out there, you know what? You're in danger. Guess what? I'm the chief of putting myself out there like a lot of these, gun channels. But it's too important to be silent. You can't, silence is consent. We've got to stand up. Okay.
Joseph just says, I heard they aren't going to do the red flag laws on the federal level, but incentives for states to do it.
Okay.
Kevin says if they adjudicate a red flag law with real due process, like restraining order, no ex parte actions, etc., it might be workable under mental health only, no angry wives or others.
Right. Okay. Yeah. This is the thing. I think there could be a balance if it was done in the right way without potential abuse. We definitely have a mental health issue in this country. That is the big thing. This is what Trump is really pushing. He's saying mental health. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I think it's a stroke of genius that he's saying, we're going to do some, we're going to have to look at guns, but we're also going to look at immigration. And so the Democrats are like, I think it's great. It knocks them off their balance. And but yes, if we can do something that we can identify those that are potential danger, seriously potential dangers, that we have someone to report that to, that can be verified before someone goes in and does something. There needs to be some kind of verification. If we can do that, it may be an answer. But the thing is, the Democrats are rabid right now, and all they see is we need gun control. Yes.
Enigma says the problem is sheeple don't want to accept the responsibility to protect themselves.
That is, you hit the nail on the head. Hit the nail on the head. Listen, it's an ugly fact. It is ugly. Nobody wants it. But when the pioneers were sitting there in their cabins and they were being attacked, they had to stand up for themselves. They had to defend themselves. It's just a matter of self-defense. Do you value your life? The funny thing, well, it's not funny. The deal and let me say this first, because if we're not careful, because we are so bent on protecting the Second Amendment, let's not lose our compassion for those people. Those were innocent lives. They did not ask to be put in that situation. They didn't do anything to be put in that situation. It is a horrible thing that happened. And my heart goes out, and not my thoughts, my prayers go out to those families, because they witnessed a horrific event. Horrific. And we've got to make sure we remember that, because they are devastated. And I can't even imagine. I honestly, I can't imagine. So, but we've got to be sensible. We've got to be logical. Yes.
Paul says, if everyone carried, this would solve the problem in a short term. People won't commit these acts if they know they can't succeed.
That is right. That is right. They are typically cowards. And, here's the thing, guys. And let me just say this on a side note, aside from any kind of laws that may be coming up, please get training. Please get training. Go out and practice. Go out and train. Be familiar with your firearm. Get into a self-defense class. There are tons of them all over the country. Even if it's a local, like IDPA match, where you can start to get proficient with your firearm that you're carrying, or whatever. We've got to be ready. That is what the essence of the militia was all about in the first place, is ready to defend enemies, foreign and domestic. And it's not necessarily just the government, because, that's not, the thing is, it's just enemies against you. that we need to retain our free state. And the way to do that is to be able to defend ourselves against those that would be willing to hurt us and our families. So please be ready. Please train. And let me say this, because I am so tired of being challenged by who knows what about my stance on the Second Amendment. I am dyed in the wool, and I've been that way for the past almost 40 years, probably about 35 years. I've been an NRA member, and I've been a GOA member, and I've been standing with those organizations because it's beyond. I mean, what could happen if they take away our guns? The genocide that can happen. We lose the first, we lose the second one, we're going to lose the rest of them. We're already seeing the first one attacked, guys. We're seeing it every time. You cannot say certain things and not be labeled with a hate crime. And that's wrong. It's just wrong. Yes.
Thad asks,
Hey, Thad.
I wonder what the toxicity tests show on some of these shooters, and I wonder how many of these young men were on Ritalin or other drugs when they were little boys.
It's a common theme. It's a very common theme. They're on some kind of antidepressant, they're on different kind of medications. And, here's the thing. What does it take to be mentally adjudicated? Now, let me go back to this. I know a lot of vets that came over that had, postpartum, or not postpartum, but PS, that had, battlefield stress syndromes. A lot of them were asked after conflicts to go and be evaluated. And so many of them were kind of labeled to have some problems, which they didn't. They just went and had a conversation. I know some of the guys that talked about it. And, those guys, that was one of the things that Obama tried to do, was to come in and say, these guys shouldn't be able to possess a gun if they've had any kind of certain counseling or whatever. But, and I think that's where the red flag laws can get into a lot of trouble or cause a lot of problems. But, my wife's in the medical field. She was a labor and delivery nurse for a number of years. And there was a wing that took care of mental patients and people that had problems, emotional problems. And because there just wasn't enough money in it, they ended up closing them down. And that's what they've done all over the country. When they started doing this healthcare thing, those were the first to go. And that's one of the problems. See, the thing is, guys, and you know this, the problem is not guns. We've had guns for 500 years. And this is outside of Nazi Germany and some of those places and Russia and China. We have not had these kind of mass shootings as much as we've had recently. And so it's not about the guns. It's about the people. It's about the person. It's about the pure evil. And there is. And guys, I'm really concerned because I don't think it's going to stop here. In fact, after the second one, we had the big one in El Paso and then that one in Dayton. I just thought this could happen again tomorrow. It could happen in, this can happen here. We could have an epidemic of shootings. And if that happens, Lord help us. I mean, seriously, Lord help us, because, we're going to lose. We'll lose everything. And so we have got to stand firm, got to have our minds right, got to know what we're thinking. But here's the thing. And I guess it was John Burke. I put his video up. He's a vet, just incredibly articulate, super smart. And he was talking and he said, look, he goes, I don't think they should have any laws, any gun laws. If a person can get the gun, he can get it. But here's the thing is everyone needs to carry. He goes, you need to be able to defend your life. You need to be ready to defend your life. For me, it's like I'm here at Walmart. I'm some little lady, and I have my grandchild with me. And who are you expecting to defend you and your family? I know it's horrible. I know that we hate to even think about it this way. Take responsibility for you and your family. And be willing, be ready. I mean, it's not simple, but it's definitely something that people have got to take a look at. So, how are we doing? We got a lot of people in here. I'm just really fired up. Okay, let's stop for a second because we need to take a break. and I want to do a giveaway. How about that?
Yeah, take a breather.
Yes, let me take a breather. Okay, well, first thing I want to say is Jim Gallagher. Jim, if you are watching tonight, you have won a PL Mini 2, and I need your address. And if you're like me, I've shut my notifications off of something, and so you're not getting my messages. Jim, you've been with us a long time. I really want to send this to you. PL Mini 2, it's yours. You give me your address. Just contact me through the messages. Say, hey, man, what's up? Here's my address. I'm going to get this out to you and some patches and stuff we're doing. Just want to take, because I do appreciate you, Jim. Okay, now, first thing we're going to do is we're going to give away, let's just give away the Tech Mat. This is a Tech Mat cleaning kit. It's rolled up. It's really cool. Should I open it? Yes, I should, maybe. Maybe getting into more of this than I should. Okay, so this is a really cool system. And if any of you have seen the Tech Mats, which are pretty cool, show diagrams of firearms. This is actually the same material, except that inside, let me see if I can turn this around for you guys. Is this going to dump out everywhere?
Probably. There's a lot of
There's a lot of stuff right here. Look here, Sarah Matt's going to have fun putting all this back together. Okay. There's a ton of brass rods, cleaning rods, all kind of patches. I mean, all kind of stuff. This is cool. There's some lubricant and solvent. Here's another jag. We'll put this back together for you before we send it. So I'll do it. All right. So we have the Tech Mat cleaning kit system. We're going to give you that. And you got to answer this question. What does parabellum mean? First person to answer, parabellum. What does it mean? And you win. Ready for war? You got it? I just gave you the answer. So, guys, if y'all...
Okay, what if it's for war?
That's good.
Okay, well, then it was Nancy.
Nancy. All right. Nancy has won the Tech Mat. She answered parabellum. If you haven't seen John Wick, parabellum, then, there you go. All right.
Then it's your loss.
So,
I need the pen.
Yeah, Sarah Mack's going to send this. Listen, guys, too, if you win tonight, just go ahead and send us a message. You can send it directly, a direct message, and then that way I'll have it, and I won't wait a week to contact you because sometimes it takes that. All right. Let me see. We got some things falling off here. All right. Okay. So Nancy, Tech Mat. Okay. Let's go on. Let's hear from you guys. What is it that you think? What do you think is the solution? What do you think are you willing to do? Now, one problem is sometimes, listen, honestly, for me, I'm not going to be satisfied with anything. I mean, to me, we've already got too many gun laws on the books already. I think on the federal level, we have 20,000 gun laws. That has not stopped what's going on. So why more laws they think is going to change anything? Two, they're talking about, we need more waiting periods. We already have a waiting period. Some states waive that waiting period if they do an instant background check. How is that going to change anything? It's just going to put more burden on the state. It's going to put more burden on us, and it's going to be more delays and more things that are just going to be ridiculous. And if someone needs a firearm because they are being harassed by a significant other or whatever, they need to be able to get that firearm. Yes.
What are your thoughts on whether some of these events are orchestrated? Hard not to consider that question.
Yeah, of course. Of course, I think that. I'm not going to say I just think that is a definite, but it's just strange to me. I think one of the things that really, to me, is one that leads me to think that sometimes is because of the lack of information that they give. The Las Vegas shooter, no one knows. They still don't know, or they're saying they don't know what happened. I don't know how you could hide anything with an event that big, but they're not giving us information. So for me, a lot of times, it does. It makes things and it doesn't add up. I mean, you've got the whole entire might of the FBI, the ATF, and all these state and local organizations investigating this situation, and you don't know anything, and you really don't know why this guy did what he did. There's no, I mean, one thing though that I feel that is a common thread typically is politically they're liberal. I don't know. I don't know what the connection is. I'm not going to say that I think that it's really orchestrated with confidence, but it's definitely something that makes you think. In fact, Sunday morning again, there was a guy there that's a friend of mine, and he was talking, and the first thing he said to me, he goes, "You just can't tell me this was coincidental." And I said, "I know." I said, "I don't know." I said, "I just, I see what I see." So, there you go. What can we do about that, though? What can we do about it? I mean, that's the bottom line. Yes.
Enigma says, I've told numerous people as a police officer to carry a gun to protect themselves, and I always get the deer in the headlights look like. Well, that's why there are police.
Yeah. How about this? The guy in Ohio, police engaged him within 20 seconds. 20 seconds. Those guys were brave. I love it. They were going after that guy with handguns, and he had an AR. They stopped him in 30 seconds. Hit him at 20, stopped him at 30. He was getting ready to go into the club. He would have killed 100 people. Thank God for those men in blue. I'm going to tell you, and all you guys out there that are vets, or you're former law enforcement, or you're current law enforcement. I know there's a bunch of you out there. We appreciate everything you do, but you are not our bodyguard. You are not responsible for my self-defense. I am responsible for my self-defense. I don't want law enforcement responsible for my self-defense, because what that means is there'll be one on every corner, and we don't want that, and we can't afford it. So thank you for what you do, definitely. And it's tough. It's tough out there. So, but people need to take responsibility for their own self-defense, for their own defense, for their family. Amen. Yes.
The Bug Killer says, one thing.
Hey, man.
The perps are looking for publicity. One guy sits tight when LEO shows up, just gives up. Quit giving these people the publicity they covet.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, they become stars. They're like John Dillinger, but they're stars. And Jesse James, I mean, the list goes, Bonnie and Clyde, the list goes on and on. Al Capone, I mean, they loved it. They love being in the limelight. And that's definitely what these guys are all about. And so, but, some of them are just absolutely crazy. They're just crazy. And there's no way to stop them. There's no way to talk them out of it. They're going to do something. They're hell-bent on death. I know that one lady there at Walmart, and it was just so sad that she shielded her child while taking bullets. And, if she's willing to do that, and listen, I realize that a lot of, especially ladies, that they're like, are you kidding me? I can't carry a gun. They're not used to it. They don't have any, they're like, oh, that scares me. My wife, my daughter, Seth, just turned 21. He's getting his concealed carry. We believe in concealed carry. If Grant was not just 16, but he has guns in his room. Self-defense. If anybody breaks into this house and we're at home, it's going to be ugly for them because we will defend. And, and I will defend others. I mean, in fact, I think one of my buddies, Don, who's one of my patrons, he got in touch with me where he was laughing. He said, I went to Walmart. He goes, nothing really happened. I walked around this morning. I said, I'm kind of thinking about going up to Walmart and just walking around. And if they need me, I'm there and I'll help these people. I mean, but not that I'm going to do that, but makes you think, yes.
Steve-O says, here in California, I cannot get a CCW in my own state because I live in LA. I have a CCW for 34 other states. I train regularly, and I am a Gulf War vet. Do you think our laws will hit the rest of the nation?
Sure, I think that's where that's where they're headed. I mean, funny to me, we never go the other direction. And you know what I hate? is I hate that California, those are fellow Americans. And there's a lot of you guys there that are super conservative, staunch Second Amendment supporters, and you're under tyranny. You can't even defend yourself. You go out in LA, you're a sitting duck. If someone picks you out, the right amount of people with a gun, you have no right. That is wrong. That is morally wrong. It is a universal human right for self-defense. That is a universal, whether they make laws against it or not, that is a universal right. Yes.
Michael asked, how many people do you know that you wouldn't feel good about them owning a firearm? How do you articulate that?
Now, as far as people that I know and hang around with, of course, I tend to friend people or have relationships with people that are kind of like-minded. But there are people. When we had an attack, at our church a few years ago. This was at a church we were at previously, and it was on a Wednesday night. I've told you about it. Gary, he was an older guy, ended up being attacked right outside the parking lot by 13 people. They ended up taking a brick to his head. In fact, if this apartment manager hadn't seen what was going on, they probably would have killed him. And after that, a good friend of mine, Mike Lau at South Carolina Gun School, said, look, I'm going to offer CWP for everybody for like $40. And normally it was like $75. We had grandmothers, great grandmothers. We had anybody, everybody, just about everybody that could own a gun came. Many of them had never even shot a gun. And they took the class. And, some of them, it was a little scary at first, but, it's our responsibility to train. It's our responsibility for self-defense. It all comes back on our responsibility. I am going to defend myself. I'm going to defend my family. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to do it. And if training and learning and doing, you got to do it. If there are people that really shouldn't own a firearm, maybe it's because they have issues. Maybe they have mental issues. Maybe they're unstable. Our mental health system is broken. It's broken. And so those people that actually fall into that category are not adjudicated as mentally deficient. And that's the thing. If they really seriously, not even necessarily a violent criminal, but someone that just really can't have the faculties to be able to handle and defend themselves, they need to be adjudicated. I don't know if y'all hear Lance over there drinking water, but he's slurping it up. Yes.
Chad asked, what
Chad.
do you think about a red dot on a pistol for carry in these situations? Would help in distant engagements or not?
Possibly, because one of the things about the red dot is parallax free. You can get that as long as you get the dot on it. One thing I will say, though, if you're going to have a red dot, is you need to train, because it's funny. And if I don't stay on it, I don't. When I pick up that red dot, I'm too busy looking for the dot instead of lining up my sights with the correct sight alignment. And so, that's the big thing, is making sure that you're training. I think that it's a great option. It's definitely quick. It's fast. It will give you an advantage. For me, it's large. It usually sticks out some on the pistol. I have not gone to that for my personal self-defense, even though I have carried that way sometimes. But one thing about shooting in most shootings is you shoot with both eyes open, not even hardly looking at the sights when you're firing. It's more of a point and shoot. Yes.
Okay, we have one more question, and then we need to do another giveaway.
Okay.
Have you ever considered the notion that Trump may not have been a fluke after all? He's the perfect catalyst for left-leaning changes.
Well, I hadn't seen it. I mean, I know he did the bump stock thing. I don't think Trump understands. It's what I think. I don't think he understands the gun culture. I honestly think that he thought that was the sacrificial lamb and it would keep us from losing AR-15s. And even Chris Cox told me during that time that he said, guys, you don't understand how close we were to losing our AR-15s. I think it's not legal. It wasn't right. They shouldn't have done it. Whatever. I agree with all that. So we will see. I think this is going to be the real test. I don't think that, but I may be proven wrong. And I'm nervous. I'll just admit it. I've told people, I said, the thing is, they were talking about Trump. There's a lot of people against Trump right now because of some of the things that have been said. Suppressors, one of them. I definitely disagree with that. But we will see. We will see over the next few weeks. And we'll see where his true colors lie, because he is under the gun. And if that's the case, we're going to find out. So I'm hoping that he is pushing he's trying to divert and push. I'm not saying I agree with any of this, guys. I just want you to know that. I'm just going to say what I think he's doing. I think he's diverting. I think he's trying to get mental health and red flag laws, which I think are misguided, red flag laws, and then immigration. He's trying to attach it to keep it really fluid. And so we'll see. And if he comes out, if he comes out and says he supports an assault weapons ban or magazine restriction or, whatever, some of these things, then it's going to be game over as far as I'm concerned with him. So, of course, I don't know who's any better. What, Bernie Sanders? I mean, where are we going? It's scary. Joe Biden, and if we can't get Congress back,
screwed.
We're really in trouble. We're really in trouble. So I'm really hoping that he's going to come through on this. I just don't know. Yes.
Let's do 2 giveaways.
Let's do a giveaway.
14 minutes.
Oh my gosh, guys, y'all let me run my mouth. Okay, let's do this. Let's go ahead and give away the Long Live the Republic mug, and we're giving away a BCM hat. And you're taking my questions. Let me see. Hold on. I've got that and this and that's a yes question. All right. Let me see. Okay. Get ready. I want you to who the first one to answer. What is the most popular caliber for pistols? What is the most popular caliber for pistol?
The Bug Killer answers correctly.
Yeah. What is it?
9mm.
The Bug Killer, 9mm. Guys, I'm not going to make these questions too difficult. I may make some if it's something, really nice. Okay. Bug Killer, Long Live the Republic mug. Going to give you a BCM hat. We're going to throw some stickers in here and patches. So that's coming your way. Send me a message on Patreon and we'll get that shipped out to you. And let's go ahead and do another giveaway while we're at it. This is, I'll tell you what, let's do a yes question. This is something we did last time because it's a gun specific. I have some night vision sights. They fit a particular gun. Night vision, I'm telling you, night vision to me is the best out on the market. I've got every kind of other night sight out there, but night vision, they're owned by Kaminga, who makes the tritium inserts for U.S. military compasses. And they've been doing that for 25 years. And these are bright. And this one is a front tritium sight and then just a blacked out rear sight for good contrast. And I'm going to throw in a patch and we'll throw in some other stuff. So if you have a Glock 17, 19, 22, 23, the standard 9mm 40 Glock, and you want to say yes. First one to say yes.
Oh, Red Rider said yes.
Red Rider. Congratulations, Red Rider. You're the next contestant on Suit Patreon. All right. There you go. We've got one more thing we're going to be giving. Well, actually, we got a couple of things we're going to give away. Okay. We're going to do that toward the end. And we got more stuff coming up. All right. Do we have some questions? Thank you guys for participating. I see it. I love it. Thank you. I wish everyone could win, but we're going to be giving away stuff. We got 2 more things to give away tonight, but we're going to be giving away stuff every week. And
Liberal Patriot asks, can you drag Lance into the camera frame? I need something to smile at.
If we did, then he would not quit coming over here.
He's so cute.
Hold on. Let me see if I can do something. Tell me if I'm on him.
Okay. You gotta go down. There's Lance and Zane are in the camera.
Hey, Lance and Zane are in the camera.
Oh, you just put the light in front of. No, you put the light.
That's
in front
okay.
of
You want to see Lance.
Look at that sweet baby.
Okay, is that it?
Yep.
All right. Are we back on?
Yes. Just needs to be up a little bit. There you go.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, he is a great dog. We love him. Of course, so is Zane, and they're good. And Molly's good. Okay, so any questions? And guys, again, these giveaways are just for fun, and it just helps, for us to make it interesting, give you guys, and it helps to we get a lot of stuff, and it's good to get rid of some of it because not that it's anything bad, because these are definitely nice items, but it's just great to share with you guys, and I appreciate so much. One thing I do want to say with what's coming up, YouTube will probably do some kind of knee-jerk reaction, guys. I mean, even the knife that I've just posted on a Sensible Prepper channel, it was demonetized. Usually they kind of leave Sensible Prepper alone to a point, but anything gun related is. But YouTube right now on Suits channel, it's just not looking good. We have got to stay on YouTube. We've got to. We've just got to. And so what you do every month, I'm telling you, it is vital to keep us on YouTube. So I want to stress that very much, because we do appreciate everything you do, and it does mean a lot to us. So thank you. You are honestly keeping us on YouTube. Otherwise, I just go maybe to Get Zone and go over to Survival Dispatch and focus on my Sensible. That's what I do, because really we can't make it on the Suits channel. So thank you. All
right. Suits. Do you EDC a trauma kit?
Yes. Well, I don't. Sometimes I do, as far as on my body, but I always have trauma kits in my vehicle. If I'm wearing cargo pants, I do have a trauma kit. I need to get the name of it, but my buddy at Lucky Gunner, which we don't. I'm just friends with Anthony. He just sends me Christmas stuff. I don't know why, because we really don't do anything. We did years ago. But there is this sleeve with trauma dressing in it and chest seal, and then there's another little thing with my cat tourniquet in it, and it fits perfectly in each of the cargo pockets, and we carry them to the range every time we go. But if I'm going somewhere or doing something where I can carry that, I will. If I'm going to an event, I try to carry that. Also, John Lovell's kit, the EDC ankle kit, I've been carrying it as well. That is a great kit. The problem right now is I'm wearing shorts. It's so hot. We're wearing shorts all the time. So, I haven't been wearing it as much, but definitely and especially with an active shooter situation, trauma kit would be invaluable for people. So, yes.
Try.
Kevin asked, what gun are you most excited to review?
At this point right now, I will say the Masada, about the IWI, definitely something that I think is just incredible. I've been talking to Ed Brown. They kind of got in touch with me out of the blue. They've done some things with Hickok, and I've been a big fan of Ed Brown 1911s for so long. But those guns are so expensive. They're like, $3,000, $3,500, $4,000. They're like Wilson Combat, and they're super quality. But I just told him, I said, look, this is a custom gun. If I put it on my YouTube channel, I'm not going to get anything for it, and just the liability of dealing with it. That is one, though, that I would love to get, and so I would be willing to do it, but we haven't talked about it. But an Ed Brown gun 1911 would be incredible. Not necessarily something that I would personally want to carry, but that is pretty much. And to be honest with you, right now, as far as guns, the CZ S2 Micro, oh man, that thing is just incredible. But that's not really a gun to EDC, but that is one. So that's just what I'm thinking right now. The thing is, guys, is we do a lot with guns. I mean, there's a lot of different guns we do, and because a lot of our range time is focused on reviews and doing stuff, there's a lot of times where I don't really get to shoot just for pleasure. And so it's kind of tough. You hot?
A little bit.
It is warm in here. But it's one thing. In fact, I was thinking about it the other day. I thought I just really would like to get out to the range. I did buy a Luger, one of the Swiss Lugers, 6.5 Luger from Classic Firearms, and I have had limited time to go out. Oh, but one that I am excited about is the Ruger GP100 revolver that I bought last couple of weeks, well, a little over a week ago. And I went into my local gun shop. I mentioned this the other day, and I went in, and there it was in the case. And I've been looking for one. It was the 4-inch with the original wood insert grip. And I just bought it. I didn't even talk him down. I said, I just want it. And so he held it for me, and I came back and picked it up. I haven't even shot it yet. I am dying to shoot that. Okay, yes.
We have 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay, let's do this. I have a Spectre Gear sling. Now this is a QD. In fact, it's got the QD attachments on it. I did a review on the Sensible Prepper channel with the slings, which that's one they demonetized. It has the two QD points. It has a great system. Watch the video. You take it, and when you have it hooked up, it's a 2-point sling. You grab this loop, you pull it. It has a ratchet system. It's not really ratchet, but the way it works, you pull up and just pull, and it's super fast. These are really high quality slings. They've made more slings than anybody else in the world, and they've started selling it to civilians. They've been selling these to the military and police and things like that. These are great slings. So check out that. The question for this is, what is the name of the man who designed the Glock pistol?
Oh, okay. I think I heard you.
Come on. Who's the man? What's his name? That.
Oh, Gadsden Clock.
Yep. Okay, who won it?
Enigma.
Enigma. These are great slings. These are great. In fact, I kind of was like, oh, should I give that away? This is great. I think you're going to really like this. We will be sending. Get in touch with me. Give me your address, and we'll add some other stuff to it. And let's do one more before we kind of wrap things kind of down. Now, this is something that's cool. And in fact, the review is being processed right now. This is the Exotac Rip Spool. This is a repair kit, a survival repair kit. And so I'm going to kind of get up here to the camera. You'll be able to see more details coming up. Okay, you got duct tape. It says 50 inches. It's actually 7 feet because I've unwrapped the other one. And there's 60 feet of braided monofilament line, which is excellent. Fire cord lanyard, which you can light fires with this. It's an aluminum body, really nice. These are made in the USA, in fact, down in Georgia. And then inside, and this is really cool, guys, there is a needle. It's a number 16 sail, go through canvas, webbing, whatever. And it's actually in this little, it's got like a rubberized little thing that fits down in. This is waterproof. And I put safety pins, which are included, safety pins, some couple of hooks, and a couple of sinkers in one, and it fit well. So it makes it a really nice little repair kit, survival kit. This is great. Now, one thing about this is I'm friends with Chris Jensen over at Exotac. He used to work for Century Arms, and when we used to do some shoots, I got to really like him. And so he works for Exotac. He got in touch with me the other day, and he said, he says, what do you need? I'll just send you some stuff. And I said, would you be willing to send stuff every week or send a package of cool stuff? Because they do a lot of cool fire starters for giveaways. And he said, man, yeah. So he's packing up a box to send, but this is one that I already had and I wanted to give to you guys. These are great. Again, I just did the review. I love it. It's great for your bag. And we'll be adding the other BCM ball cap with that. Okay, now that was my questions. I've already asked all my questions. Okay. Let's see. What's a good one?
How old do you think I am? No, I'm just kidding. That's a joke.
Don't answer that.
Whichever one I get offended at the most, I'm marking you down for never.
Oh, no.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
So
it's a joke. It's a joke.
Rip spool and the hat. What? Okay, this could be a tough one, and you can do the pen name. Who wrote the Going Home series? Who wrote the Going Home series? You can do the pen name or their real name. Pen name or real name?
Yeah, write that down. Because I don't remember.
You got it? You don't
Oh,
keep
good Lord.
come here.
Oh, I know.
Okay,
I know.
or
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, no, I got it. So technically,
either one.
liberal patriot.
Yep, that's it. Liberal patriot, a American, or Chris Weatherman, angry American. Great book series, number one. And Rip Spool to you. Get in touch with us. We will get your address and we'll send out these 2 items. All right. Now, one more thing I want to say. Jim Gallagher, Jim, I've tried to get in touch with you a couple of times. We've got the PL2 Mini or PL Mini 2 fully adjustable. Jim, get in touch with me. I want to give you this. I want to send this to you. You won this the first giveaway. And I really do appreciate you, man, because you've been with us for a long time. So, all right. Very cool items. Don't forget, we'll have these on tomorrow. The Long Live the Republic coffee mugs. I think they're $12.95. We're going to give you a 20% discount.
We will post that on Patreon when we have it ready.
Yes, we'll post it. There'll be a discount code, Patreon, real hard, difficult, and you'll get 20% off this and the patches and stickers. We're just whatever, but just if you want it, again, there's only 300. So I don't know. These they may not last that long, but if we do, it doesn't take too long to order them.
Says, wait, how do we contact you? Just so.
You should be able to contact me under my message. You can do a direct message or such00@gmail.com. That's a tough one. Just either way, let me know and we will get these out. Sarah Mac will pack it up and we'll put back the Tech Mat cleaning kit, Nancy, I promise.
We're just going to throw it in the box.
We're not going to send it like it
I'm
is.
just kidding.
Thank you guys for all the ones that, congratulations, but also thank you, all the people that jumped in and asked a lot of questions. And again, guys, I'm telling you, without you, we would not be here. This to me, I know we do Facebook Live tomorrow at 2, and I love that. And there's some of you guys that come over there and help out. But you guys are my heart. You're the guys that we love. And it's just great to have you guys. I love get in touch with me. If you have any questions, you know how to get in touch. I just said it, but you can send me a direct message on Patreon. It's real easy. And again, if you have comments and things, I always try to answer them. If I don't, it's not because, again, I'm ignoring you. It's just because maybe, something crazy's happened. So, we do, guys. Okay, now here's the thing that I think is the big key here, and I'm going to leave you with this. There's a lot of people that are blabbing about, we need to do more for gun rights. We need to do this. We need to do that. I'm going to tell you what you need to do, because here's the thing. We are fighting a war of attrition. We're going to shrink in numbers if we don't recruit new people and inspire them with the love of the Second Amendment, of just shooting. Take people out, people that you have in your influence, people that are not shooters, or even if they are shooters and they're kind of indifferent to some of the laws that could happen. Take them out and take them for a day of shooting. There is nothing better. There is not a better tool than to do that, to recruit people to start to like firearms. And from there, they'll get an interest in firearms. And then from there, they're going to join the Second Amendment and they're going to join different gun organizations. And then they're going to get involved. That is the way. And that's the danger that YouTube sees with the gun community, because that's what we're doing. That's what we're taking them shooting in a virtual situation. Please take them out, let them shoot, spend a little money on ammo, guys. It is an investment that it'll give back. We do it. We try to do it as much as possible. And it's just amazing, the transformation. That is how we're going to recruit people. Otherwise, fussing on some forum or some YouTube channel about who's not doing what in the gun community is not doing anyone any good. Fussing at me about how I stand on the Second Amendment, which I stand as strong as anybody out there. is not going to do us any good. We need to make it a positive, going out, recruiting people, taking them out to shoot, letting them know that gun owners and gun ownership is just smart and it's the right thing to do. And that we need to be able to take defense, self-defense is our own responsibility. The sheeple, they don't get it. Don't be a sheeple. And I know you're not because you're on here. Be proactive. Support law enforcement. Support those guys. They need our support. And we need to stand with them. So, with that being said, thank you so much for being here tonight. I know it was a little bit on a serious note with all the craziness with what's going on. I'm going to be posting some things. Hopefully, I can put together a good video to be able to talk about it. If I can articulate all the things I want to say in a video, because there's so many things racing through my mind right now, it's very difficult. But because I feel so passionate about this. But again, thanks for what you do. Again, next week, we'll be back on Monday night. We're going to have different items to be given away. We got a lot of cool stuff to give you guys. And if you didn't win this week, next week. So
It's always a chance.
it's always a chance. Thanks. Big thanks to Sarah Mack for being here and really filling in. She just got some bad news about the place that she keeps her horses. The girl that manages it and that she loves to death is leaving. And so she's kind of she kind of found out about that today. And so she's been kind of a little bit off. Sorry.
A little bit pissed.
But it'll all work out. But guys, thanks again. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic.